Lucas S.E., Lutuli B.N., Mabe B.P., Mabena T.P., Machi B.E., Macpherson D.W., Madigizela B.S., Maduna N., Maeko S.M.
Magagula T.E., Mahambehlala T., Mahlangu S.S., Mahlatsi L.W., Mahlaule M.G., Mahlobo M.D., Mahumapelo S.O.R., Maimola P.R., Maimane M.A.
Maimela KJ, Majodina PCP, Majosi Z, Makasi N, Mahato MP, Makubela LS, Malatsi MS, Malema JS, Malemacha CN.
Managa L, Manamela KB, Maneli BM, Mandashe GS, Manyi M, Mawodre OMC, Marey EJ, Marey P, Mahau TL, Masango BS.
Maseko LM, Masemula ND, Mashabela NR, Mashatile SP, Mashele TV, Masina MC, Masondo D, Maswanganyi MJ, Matabata CS.
Matafa OM, Matale CC, Matulelwa B, Mathays L, Matiase NS, Matsone NWA, Mbio IM.
Mackenzie G, Maglua JJ, Mchunu ES, Mchunu TVB, Mdluli MM, Mente Nkuna NV, Meshwe KRJ, Meth N.
Mgcina PS, Mgweba T, Mahawule MR, Mhlawuli NB, Mhlongo NH, Mikalakis G, Mileham KJ.
Mkhalipi HO, Mkize ZL, Mkonto CN, Mkhwebane BJ, Mkutu L, Mulutsani ML, Mngwango MA, Mganga Cabashe LA. Modise Mpya M, Moela MS, Mufokeng ML, Morale TP, Morai SJ, Mushala MR Mukwena, JL Mukwena, LG Mulweli NA.
Muntwedi MK, Moore SJ, Muraka AT, Murulong IK, Mosikatsi S, Mutsecha MA, Mutswaledi PA, MPTL, Mkhacha M, Mtolo NE, Malda CP, Munyai TB, Mutambi AF. Mfana NQ, Mayback NG, Nalumango RS, Ndabeni Abrahams ST, Ndalane NA, Ndamase P, Ndlozi MQ. Nila May HE, Nel AC, Nemadzinga Chabalala, J, Ngobo SL, Ngobeni LM, Ntlantla ME, Nana ME, Nihau CJ, Nkabane NP. Nkopane NS, Nkosi NE, Nodada BB, Noluchungu NJ, Nontenja City, Nonsele M, Ngola X, Ntlangwini EN, Chalinchali LL, Chabeni KPS, Ntuli M, Nyonzo M, Nzimande BE, Nzuza NB, Pambo V, Peach WD.
Peterson JS, Pasha MJ, Piri CM, Polwane MB, Blackis WTD, Pool CJ, Potgieter, LR, Powell, EL, Pule, DD.
Honorable members, if you could reduce the noise so that those whose names are called will be able to hear when their names are called. Please reduce the noise. Thank you.
Ramaila KS, Ramaphosa MC, Ramokhupa ML, Ramokhupa KD, Ramolubeng A, Ramungalo TR, Ruos AC, Roque FS.
Sangoni, KLN, Sapo, L, Sarupen, AN, Sols, A, Shikering, L, Schreiber, LA, Siabi, AM, Sitlolo, IS, Sikowati, SC.
They are all red.
Silamulela SD, Senne MM, Shabangu FL, Shelembe ML, Shikwambana M, Shibambu NF, Shibiti TG, Sibia NM.
Simelane TP, Singh N, Singh S, Sitole KP, Sitole RJ, Siweya RT, Skosana GJ, Smith CFB, Smith R.
Sokanyile T, Sokopo MM, Somba Masiu NS, Soyu MM, Spies ERJ, Steenhuisen JH, Subrati SI, Swart SN, Swarts B, Tafeni N.
Techana Y, Tembekwayo SS, 3 WM, Tikana Gotiwe W, Tito LF, Thong KC, Tolashe NG, Trolip RAP.
Tsotetsi NT, Van der Merwe LL, Van der Walt D, Van Standen PA, Van Zyl AM, Vilakazi SG, Wakelin KH, Webster NL, Vessels WW.
Whitfield AG, Velskat C, Xaba PP, Xhego ST, Yako YN, Zibi SS, Zikalala S, Zondi S, Zondo SS, Zungula V.
Honorable members, are there any members of the House who have been sworn in who have not been called to vote? No. Okay, we are done then. The assistant returning officers will now close and seal the boxes, the ballot boxes.
Chief Justice,
Yes?
can we be explained to the process now? Where are you going with these ballots?
I'm sorry?
Because it would seem to me a free and fair election with nothing to hide if you count there where we are seeing all of us. But maybe in the intelligence of the Chief Justice, there is something else. We wanted to hear what is the procedure? Why are you closing and all of that?
Well, I'll tell you the procedure now. The proceedings are suspended now to enable the returning officer to count the votes and to report to me. The bells will be rung for 5 minutes before resumption of proceedings.
Chief Justice?
Chief Justice.
Can these cameras that are showing us here
Chief
when we
Justice?
speak, go
Yes.
also show the vote counting? I'm speaking, sorry. Sorry, Chief Justice.
I'm sorry, 1 second. I'll give you attention just now.
Okay, thanks.
Secretary. Let me read this before I give you attention. Your question might fall away. The counting of votes goes according to the following rules. As soon as the voting has been completed, the presiding officer must suspend the proceedings, and the returning officer and the assistant returning officers must remove the ballot box and all papers to a room where the counting is to take place. That's 7-1. 7-2, the ballot box must be opened by the returning officer in the presence of the presiding officer, and the counting of the votes must then be proceeded with. 3, no person other than the presiding officer, the returning officer, and the assistant returning officers may be present in the room while the votes are being counted. 4, after the votes have been counted, the returning officer must report to the presiding officer, informing him or her of the result of the counting of the votes. 5, on receipt of the report, the presiding officer must return to the place of the meeting, which is here, and announce the results of the election. 6A, the returning officer must retain the nomination papers, the used ballot papers, and the counterfoils thereof in a sealed packet for a period of at least 1 year. B, the sealed packet may not be opened except by an order of court.
Chief Justice. Chief Justice.
Yes, I can. Yeah. Yes. Honorable Member.
We want to state the simple and obvious fact that Rule 7.3 can't be constitutional can't be consistent with the democratic culture of observing the counting of votes. You can't have a rule that says that when the counting happens, the presiding officer must be alone without any observation. It doesn't happen anywhere under a democratic process. So this rule is undemocratic. You can't go and count the votes in secret somewhere in a room without us observing what is happening with the votes. So when we had a secret ballot on President Zuma and majority of, or some members of the ANC, including President Ramaphosa, voted against Zuma in a secret ballot, we counted in the middle of this National Assembly chamber in front of everyone and observing that particular process. So please delete that thing of number 3, and then we open the ballot there, and then we count the votes in front of everyone. That is how we must proceed. Please.
This rule has been here for many years. This is a rule that was here in 2019. It is a rule that was here in 2014, on my understanding. This is a rule that had been, one of the rules that had been made by the previous Chief Justice, which has been taken over, which has simply been taken over by me. So the rules as they stand are those rules that applied in 2019 and I believe before, and the only change I made was in the annexures. So the rules are the same, but I cannot decide to delete the rule as it is. It is in here. If it's unconstitutional, it would have to be set aside by a competent court.
No. Chief Justice?
Chief Justice,
Yes?
may I have your attention the side from the ANC?
Yes.
I think he's recognizing me, Brabuti.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to see who is speaking.
It's Ndlozi.
Oh, yes, okay.
Yes, thanks, Chief Justice. Chief Justice, these rules are not the rules of Parliament, number 1. And number 2, you cannot say because apartheid made a law and I inherited it, even if it is undemocratic, I have nothing to do. That can't be a responsible response. As the head of the judiciary, we are appealing that surely you agree it is undemocratic to say the counting cannot be observed. What are we teaching the country now? What are we telling the South Africans who are watching these proceedings? What are we telling the international community? That the head of our judiciary says a counting is going to be done in secret. We are appealing to you. Set this rule aside. Nobody will do anything. It's your rule. It's not us. It doesn't have to be subjected to anything. It is undemocratic. It's inconsistent with the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa. And no one is going to lose anything. These cameras that are showing me now must zoom in as the counting is happening. The last thing I want to say, in 2019, there was an outright winner. In 2019, there was no contestation. But we have been here when there was a contestation and voting happened in secret, but counting was observed by everyone. And it happened on the floor of the National Assembly. Musi Maimani was contesting, Honorable Musi Maimani was contesting Honorable Gedley Hlegisa Jikitshela Mkhonto Zuma. And we counted here. But I'm appealing to you, Deputy, Chief Justice. It's undemocratic to say a counting cannot be observed.
Honorable Chief Justice.
I'm going to allow a limited time of discussion on this in terms of Rule 8.3 of the rules governing this sitting, which is part of the amendments that were made yesterday. It allows me to allow very limited discussion. I've heard Mr. Ndlozi, and basically his concern is that the counting should happen here. Is that correct? Is that correct? Yeah. And he says that in the past it has happened. Let me hear a few more views.
Honorable Chief Justice.
Let me start this side.
Thank you very much, Chief Justice. Just a couple of things. I think it would be improper for us to essentially want to amend rules which were approved by the Chief Justice on the 27th of May. Additionally, these rules were circulated to members of Parliament, and therefore, if members of Parliament had problems with particular rules here, that those should have been raised before. We cannot now be sitting here and asking to amend rules on the fly. It would essentially delegitimize the fact that we've got approved by rules that are governing the section. In addition to that, these rules are not just rules that have been created by the Chief Justice. They emanate from the Constitution under Section 9 of Schedule 3 of the Constitution. So I think it would be improper for us to now belatedly say we want to change rules on the floor of the House.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
The floor is yours.
Thank you very much.
Chief Justice, some of us, you can't see
Honorable
us, who are
Chief
behind
Justice.
the voting booth.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chief Justice. I would like to suggest that instead of having the counting taking place here at the plenary, let's rather agree as a sitting that we designate party whips to observe the counting wherever it will be taking place, rather than having it taking place at the plenary of the city. I'm of the view that that approach would not necessarily cause the amendments of the rules, but it addresses the concern arising from what has been referred to as a past experience, where the counting was observed at the plenary of the National Assembly. That's what we want to propose. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Chief Justice,
1 sec, I'll be with you just now. I'm
Julius
advised
Malema here,
that
Chief Justice.
I'll come to the one who wishes to have my attention. I'm advised that because it's a new parliament, there wouldn't be any whips. You would have to have representatives. So maybe your proposal would need to be amended to say, instead of whips, representatives of parties.
Yes, Chief Justice, I would support that. We have
okay.
each party represented. Thank you.
Okay, all right.
Chief Justice Julius Malema.
Yes, Honorable Malema.
Thank you very much, Chief Justice. I never thought I would sit in a meeting where we argue with the head of the judiciary about internationally acceptable methods of running a democratic elections. The observation, for you to observe the elections, is a democratic practice which is internationally acceptable. And we cannot have a debate about that. And no one, Chief Justice, stands to lose anything out of observation of elections unless someone seeks to do something that is undemocratic. But if it is in line with democratic principles, it is internationally acceptable that a free and fair elections will, amongst other things, include that there were observers who observed the proceedings of the elections. So I fully support what Honorable Ntuli suggests, that if you want to go and then enjoy Cape Town while people are counting, Let's get people to go and represent us. But in the past, and all members who are returning members here know it, in the past we used to count in the middle of the plenary. It's not something strange. And Floyd was an observer in one of those countings that happened here. And Honorable Musi was a candidate of such a contestation. Those people, both of them are here, who were there before. So we support that motion, and anything else that is not democratic that is being suggested by the DA is not supported, is strongly opposed, because it even comes from wrong people.
Chief Justice
Okay, honorable members.
From the UDM.
Honorable members, I know that there are members who still want to say something. Among the rules that were introduced into the rules by way of amendment yesterday, there is Rule 8.3. Rule 8, and I'll start reading from 8.1. It reads, this rule shall apply to any procedural matters not provided for in these rules which are relevant to the business of the day. 2, a question of procedure may be raised with the presiding officer's leave by a member, or in the event of an election under these rules in the National Council of Provinces, or head of a provincial delegation on behalf of a delegation, and seconded by another member or by a head of another delegation on behalf of such other delegation as the case may be. 3, if he or she considers it necessary or desirable in a particular case, the presiding officer may permit a discussion of the question and may limit participation as fit. A question of procedure posed by a member and seconded by another member in terms of this rule must address a procedural matter in relation to the proceedings to which these rules apply. And the provisions, the amendments, ultimately give the presiding officer, which is me in this case, to deal with the matter as I see fit, which I read to be a qualification of the other rules. Therefore, unless there is an opposition to the suggestion made by the member here, I'm inclined to accept the proposal that there would be representatives of various parties present when the counting happens. So I'm inclined to one representative per party to observe during the counting in the counting room. It looks like everybody accepts that. Thank you. That is the ruling.
We've started now. Superior logic will always prevail.
Thank you. Well, we've disposed of that issue, so therefore now I had already said I'm suspending the proceedings, so the proceedings are suspended so that the returning officers can go and count. And representatives, one representative per party may attend and observe. Please, those representatives who will go to the counting room, please don't take any photos. Or if you can...
Chief Justice.
Don't go in there with cell phones. Don't go in there with cell phones. Okay.
Chief Justice,
yes.
It's Singh from the IFP.
Yes.
No, we agree with the ruling and the principle of observing. Can we designate those members here as the returning officers were designated before we proceed to the room? So that we'll have an idea of who's representing which party. Thank you.
Or you mean each party can then say who their representative will be? Is that what you mean? Mr. Singh?
Yes, IFP will be represented by myself. Thank
Okay.
you, Chief Justice.
Can each party just announce who? Can each party announce who their representative will be, just so that
Justice.
only the representatives will be allowed in the room? The space is not big.
Chief Justice, the ANC.
Yes.
Thank you very much. The ANC will be represented by Honorable Pemi Majotina.
Secretary, you will be taking the names. Thank you very much.
Chief Justice,
Yes.
the United Democratic Movement will be represented by Ngabayomzi Kwankwa.
Thank you. UGM.
Chief Justice,
Thank you.
the African Transformation Movement will be represented by the President of ATM, Vuyo Zungula. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Chief Justice.
Please raise hands.
Yes,
GA.
I thought we were going to go by descending size of parties, but nonetheless,
It's too late.
Yes.
but nonetheless, the Democratic Alliance will be represented by Honorable Sarupin. Thanks.
Chief Justice.
What is the name? Oh, you've got it, yeah. Sorry, do you want
Chief Justice.
If you raise your hand, you enable me to see.
Yeah, the economic freedom fighters will be represented by Commissar Natasha Ntlangweni.
Thank you very much, Honorable
Chief
Member.
Justice,
Yes.
the Patriotic Alliance will be represented by Jasmine Peterson, Honorable Jasmine Peterson.
Thank you. You got the name?
Chief Justice,
Yes.
the ACDP will be represented by Honorable Steve Swart.
Thank you very much.
Chief
Yes.
Justice, Build One South Africa will be represented by Nobuntu Hlazo Webster.
Thank you very much. You got the name?
Chief Justice, Action SA will be represented by Lerato Ngobeni.
Thank you very much. Are we done with all the parties?
Chief Justice,
Yes.
the National Colored Congress will be represented by Sakina Frenchman.
Thank you very much.
Chief Justice, the Freedom Front Plus will be represented by myself, Dr. Mulder. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Chief Justice.
Chief Justice.
Chief Justice.
Yeah, can I see a hand up so it makes things easier?
UAT
Yes.
will be represented by Wanda Mahlatsi.
Okay.
Chief Justice.
Yes, go ahead.
Rise Mzansi will be represented by Makashule Ghana.
Thank you very much. Have all parties disclosed the identity of their representatives? It looks like they have. Thank you very much. The proceedings are then suspended.